Modes of reproduction used by single organisms. How the single organisms use the modes of reproduction. Let's see. So here they gave activity for this. Dissolve 10 grams of sugar in 100 ml of water. So in 100 ml of water, dissolve 10 grams of sugar. And to this 20 ml, take 20 ml of this solution in test tube. And in this 100 ml of water, only take 20 ml in a test tube. Because it is a sugar solution, and add a pinch of yeast. So add a pinch of yeast granules to it and put a cotton plug. Cover it with a cotton plug in the test tube and keep it in a warm place so that it will grow. The yeast will culture after 1 or 2 hours. We will see the yeast culture. Keep it on a slide. So yeast from the test tube, transfer it on a slide and cover it with a cover slip on a slide like this, and cover it with a cover slip and see under a microscope. We will see the yeast grown. And also it is very common. See activity 8.2, we can see in daily life. A slice of bread, when we keep it in a cool, moist and dark place, so when we observe that, we will see so many of molds growing in this. So in these two activities, we can see yeast grows in the first case and mold grows in the second. How the reproductive process took place in these two, how they grown. They both are grown by a process called fission. Fission means division. So in unicellular organisms, cell division will take place by fission. Fission means division. It will leads to creation of new individuals, like in amoeba, many bacteria, protozoa. So fission takes place. If it divides into two, it is called binary fission. If it divides into many, it is called multiple fission. So in amoeba, we will see splitting of the two cells during division can take place in any plane. So in any plane, it will divide to form two cells. So in the case of some unicellular organisms like Leishmania, see here Leishmania, how it is. It is also called Kala Azar. It have a whip-like structure. See here, a whip-like structure at the end of the cell. In such organisms also, binary fission will take place in definite orientation. See here, this part is divided into two, and this two, it is divided into two. So the whip also grown this side also. So it is divided. So as it is divided into two, new cells are formed. It is called binary fission. In some organisms, it is divided into many. So like in Plasmodium and other cellular organisms like Plasmodium, many daughter cells will be forming, and it is called multiple fission. So yeast on the other hand can put on some birds also that will separate and will grow further. Like we saw in activity 8.1. We saw the yeast growth on activity 8.1. Next is fragmentation. What is fragmentation? So collect water from a lake or pond and appears dark green and contains filamentous structures. When we collect some water from a lake or a pond, it will be in dark green in color. It contains many filaments. So put out on a slide and add a drop of glycerin so that we can see it clearly, and see it in a microscope. We can see Spirogyra filaments. What we'll see? Spirogyra filaments. In multicellular organisms, the relatively simple body organization, simple reproductive methods can still work, like in Spirogyra. In unicellular organisms, no reproductive organs, just it will divide. So to form two daughter cells or many daughter cells. But in Spirogyra, it will break up into to form small pieces. The organization and simple reproductive methods will be there, but it is not true in all the multicellular organisms. Like that only it should happen. So many there may be simple methods or very complex methods. So they cannot simply divide by cell. The reason is that many multicellular organisms we have seen are not a simple random collection of cells. It will not have just only cells. The cells may be organized to form tissues, and tissues are organized into organs, and organs are having a definite position in our body, and these organs again may be having organ system like this in like human beings. So but in Spirogyra, in multicellular, though Spirogyra is a multicellular organism, it don't have any complex structure. It has simple body organization for reproduction, and the basic strategy used in multicellular organisms is that different cell types perform different specialized functions. So different cells have different functions. So following this general pattern, reproduction in such organisms is also the function of specific cell type. So a single celled organism, it is capable of growing, proliferating and making other cell types under the right circumstances. So what is then fragmentation? Fragmentation is nothing but just it is divided into small fragments. It is divided into many small fragments, that's all. So if it is the Spirogyra, it is divided into many small fragments and individually it will grow into new one. So that is the case. Next is regeneration. What is regeneration? So many fully differentiated organisms have the ability to give rise to individual organisms from their body parts. If any of the body part is divided, again it has the capacity to grow into a new. So in plants, so like in planaria, if the different body parts are cut, so again it will grow into new one. So some animals like Hydra and Planaria can be cut into number of pieces. Again each piece can grow into a new or complete organisms. This is called regeneration. Regeneration will be carried out by special cells, and these cells divide into many times and to make large number of cells. From the small cells, different cells undergo changes. So the cells will divide many times and form a large mass of cells and undergo different cells will undergo changes to form different cell types and tissues. These changes will occur in an organized manner. So and organized sequence referred to as development. See here, first part is cut and the other part is regrown. Here middle part is there. So upper part and lower body part is developed. Here lower body part is there, upper body part is developed. So however, regeneration is not same as reproduction. We cannot think regeneration as reproduction, since most organisms normally depend upon reproduction only and not on the regeneration. Then next is budding. What is budding? So like Hydra, they will have some regenerative cells. So for reproduction, in the process of budding, it will develop a bud. It is an outgrowth developed due to the repeated cell division. So because of repeated cell division, it will develop a outgrowth for reproduction. This outgrowth will develop into a new plant. These birds develop into tiny individuals, and when they get mature, and it will detach from the parent body and will become new independent individual. So